laptop ta on korchi, then we'll start.
आगे कौन खाएगा कौन?
Okay, so today morning we had a discussion about what is strategic management implementation. So I told you that strategic management implementation have several, several parts, and 2 or 3 things that is essential in point of view of study. First one, we need to study strategic management implementation in view of the structure. And one more, it is very essential in point of view to understood what is strategic management process and steps of the strategic management. These are some of the essential portion that we need to study. Fine. Tama tinta jinsa padiba gotte strategic management pro implementation specifically in structural way. The structural re kemti ame structure through re kemti strategic management re implementation hichi. And for that, we'll try to understood the 7S, model, which is being, am I audible, Pilamani? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So 7S module. The 7S module have 7 different A's. And Japan mo laptop on huchi, let's start then I will come to my PPT. So 7A's is being divided into 2 parts. There are 3 A's which are called hard A's. And there are 4 A's which is called soft A's. Why it is hard and why it is soft? Because when it is in terms of implementation, the first 3 A's it is implementation, and the rest 4 A's which are value support, value system, and all these are a little bit tough in terms of understanding the different situation. Right? So this particular 7S format is being identified by identified by the McKinsey's institution. I hope you must have known about the McKinsey. Did you know about what is McKinsey?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is McKinsey?
Free space.
Sorry?
Free space vacancy.
Free space vacancy. What is that?
Vacancy मतलब मैंने मैम गोटे
vacancy
अच्छी.
Sorry, vacancy no hai. I think you are taking it in the wrong way. It is not vacancy. It is called McKinsey.
McKinsey, okay. Sorry, ma'am.
So did you know what is McKinsey and why McKinsey is the most popular kind of a institution in strategic management. Not in only strategic management, in a various way, McKinsey is very popular.
No, ma'am, no idea.
Okay, give me one example. McKinsey is one organization in the global platform who could able to create, solution to the various problems which is being cited by, which is being, came from the global platform in terms of business, in terms of sales, in terms of profit, in terms of loss. If you face any issues, any challenges, specifically when it is McKinsey, just a minute, let me mute.
मैम के उठे अनम्यूट अछि सर डिस्टर्ब होछि
I will mute all. Okay. Mo mute करछि. Then once I will start asking question or discussion बेले mo unmute करि देबी. So it is now visible, I think. Just give me 1 minute. I'll go to that particular slide. Okay. If you go to this particular portion, this is called 7S framework. 7S framework is something where through this particular framework, a successful implementation of strategy can be done. कोठी इटा structural implementation होची strategy रो ना अपन को structure रे होची. Remember, McKinsey रो 7S framework रे अपन को structural changes होची, structural strategical implementation होची. And as if in morning class also we had a discussion that बहुत जगह India रे structural changes can create a revolution in the economic arena. बहुत जगह जितने structural changes है ची ना, so the economical development भी बहुत है ची, economical enhancement बहुत है ची, recruitment start है ची, लोग माने comfortably काम कर चंदी गोटे particular platform रे. So it is very essential that where we work, से जो organizational structure टाको भी अपन को translate करिया को पड़िबो, आपको change करिया को पड़िबो. It is only possible if you do some very innovative strategical implementation. If you made that, then it could create a very healthy and wealthy environment for the and cordial environment for the people who work under a particular roof for a shared value or shared goals. गोटे particular goal को achieve करिया को जितने लोक माने काम करंती, तांको जति better अपन structure provide करिवे काम पाएंगे, it is terms of creating this structure into profit by the human power, right? So what is the structural implementation through the 7S framework? So towards in the end of 1970, McKinsey company is a very well-known management consultancy company of a global arena, of a global platform, who gives solution to the various issues, right? So very famously, if you know Mr. Raghu Ravan, who is the ex RBI chief, he was the advisor for McKinsey for 15 to 20 years. So McKinsey is a organization who could give you a solution to various issues or challenges of the companies, specifically the companies who work under a global platform. जो माने international company or multinational company, सेमाने जितले कोनोसी situation face करंती, when they are facing some challenges in the international platform, they definitely go and ask McKinsey for the solution, and it is a paid format where McKinsey tried to formulate some solutions for the companies. One more strategy you must heard about that, मुझे अपन माने सुनी थी निश्चिंत भावरे, that is called BCG matrix. BCG, Boston Consultancy Group. It is also very similar to McKinsey company. Boston Consultancy Group semane भी गोटे international platform रे solution provide करंती. Same jinsa, they are providing solution to the various issues or challenges of the of the companies who are facing in the global platform. So normally semane भी solutions provide करंती, that is called BCG group or BCG company, Boston Consultancy Group, and this is called McKinsey company. So McKinsey company, where Peter and Waterman suggested a model for the organizational excellency that is been popularly called as 7S framework. If you see the 7S, what are the 7S? So 7S are shared values. 7S consists of strategy, it consists of structure, it consists of system, it consists of style, it consists of staff, it consists of skills. So these are the 7 different S. And if you see the particularly the picture, you could able to find out this is a kind of a LAN connection. Each and everyone is being directly or indirectly connected with each other. ଆପଣ ଯଦି 7S framework ଟାକୁ ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ these are all connected with each other. It is ସବୁ interconnected with each other. Interconnection means what? These are not individual. So you cannot say I could able to create a structure without this system, or you cannot say that I could able to create a strategy without the skills, or I could able to create a structure without the staff. No. So every particular component is being binded with another component directly or indirectly. So came to what exactly this 7S framework is all about. As if I have told you them, there are 3 hard S and 4 soft S. These hard S are being identified through the color of that is sea green, and the soft S is being identified with the yellow color. Okay? So hard S re strategy, structure and system. Soft S re roila skill, staff, style and shared values. Fine. So why it is hard S and why it is soft S? You must have a question. Keda hard S kon pai, seta soft S kon pai. When we're talking about the hard elements like structure, strategy, system, these are easily identified, but it found when it is in terms of implementation, it is difficult to make an implementation because it needs some strategical statement. It required a very high corporate plans, organizational chart, other documentation. So it is difficult to implement strategy, structure and system, because system is something which is being already done by the organization. It is already being prepared by the organization way back. Maybe when the organization started, he might be prepare a system, prepare some rules, regulation, and you can't every time change your rules, regulation according to your requirements. Same what is structure be someone prepare for, like you have a hierarchical structure, you have a matrix structure, or you have a line structure. Manoj apanଙ୍କର MCP रे पढ़ा ହେଇଥିବ. Let me unmute. जदि मु ही एकला कहिबी आपण माने केमति. Okay. मते सुबिला तो नहीं, आपण कोन कहिबे. Yes. Did you remember MCP रे पढ़ा ହେଇଥିଲା? Okay. Subrat says yes, ma'am. Okay, fine. So you have different kind of structures. Fine. So it is difficult to change the structure at a stretch. Apan gote stretch structure ta ko change kar paribeni. It is bit of difficult. So jetla amana terms of implementation kohuchu, that is maybe strategy ho, structure ho, system ho, it is difficult to change. So that you require lots of permission, you require lots of documentation. Sometimes permission from government also you require to change this. That's why it is called hard S. When we're talking about soft S, जो गुड़ा अपन के yellow color थिला, that was soft S. जमते के shared values नहीं जानतो, style or staff or skills, these are called soft S. So requirement or according to the implementation requirement, you could be able to change the style of the organizational activities. You can change the staff if it is required. Even in you could if you do not want to change the staff, then send them for skill training, so that if they have lacking some skills, they could able to grab it with the constant effort of training and all. Jodi apan constant training debe apan staff ko, then skill may be polished and generated. Then skills, yes, if someone does not know how to operate some basic software, send them training, send them to a particular training. They could able to learn how this particular software will be run and how to implement that software into actions. So ये जो softest roila, so softest can be implementable in a easiest way. Fine. So that is why it is called softest. So whether it is shared values ho, whether it is style ho, style अपन change कर परिबे. Staff, yes, you could able to change them as per the requirement. जेमती कि आपनकर organization is came along with the artificial intelligence. If it is there, then maybe the work of the people reduces, and when work of the employees reduces, you may be asked for the voluntary retirement for some particular employees, maybe those who do not have skills, or maybe those who do not have appropriate contribution to your organization and all. So upon the voluntary retirement, you could able to ask them for the voluntary retirements. So that is how you could able to change the staff. But if you do not want to change the staff, so you have to retain with the people, then yes, if they require some kind of skill, you have to give them, training or constant training, which can change their skills they could able to train. So that's why it is called soft S. Now, when we're talking about hard S, so we have soft S, so McKinsey is trying to interconnected all this, all this S with a shared values. Amari jo model kochi kona na jo apankar baki shared values ku chhadi ki jo baki 6 ta S rahila, that is called structure, system, then strategy, we have style, staff and skill. ये जो 6 ta S rahila, samaste values, shared values को contribute karibe. Fine. Now, what do you understood by shared values? Now, what do you understood by organizational value? What organizational value kono? What do you understood by that? Like, apan mane gote organization ne kamo koche. Mu gote organization ne kamo koche. That is the name is DDC. Apan kabe DDC ro jodi logo dekhibe. Tadare tole lekha haichi education for all. So, what is the value system of DDC? Value system of DDC says that there is no age barrier, there is no gender barrier, there is no monetary separation. Everyone is required of education, and DDC is one platform where one working person can invest his time to learn of other studies, जोटा कि बहुत essential, despite of what age he or she is having. Fine. So आपण कबे मोर 20 वर्ष गैप हे गेलानी ग्रेजुएशन रो, so that is no do not have any issues, any problem, any challenge. So आपण आसी की पाठ पढी परिबे. Fine. But आपण जतले conventional mode को जाउचोती, maybe in that particular time period आपनकर conventional mode रे you are not allowed to read because you already work culture, आपण चाकरी करछन्ते, आपण पारे समय नहीं. Conventional रे आपण गोटे age, the minimum age was being maintained and maximum also being maintained conventional mode रे, तो आपण conventional mode को जाई परबे. But distance education रे, yes
ma'am, organizational values are a set of core beliefs held by an organization, right?
Sorry, actually I think my volume is less nahi. Volume ठीक है. कोन तो कौन हिला? Organizational values.
Organizational values are a set of core beliefs held by an organization, right?
Set of?
Hello?
Set of what?
Set of core beliefs.
Okay, that is true.
Okay.
That is true. Fine. So every particular organization have its own, values. Like where are you working? What's your name? Yes.
Bpsm-Mba.
Ma'am, Varsha this time.
Varsha. Where are you working, Varsha?
No, ma'am. Presently, I'm not working.
अच्छा अच्छा, you presently were not working. तो आपण आगरो काम करूथिले?
हाँ, करूथिली.
Where?
Airtel रे थिली.
Airtel रे थिले. So what is the shared value of Airtel?
No idea, ma'am. Sorry.
अरे
बहुत दिन हो गलानी छाड़ी.
Airtel तळे लिखा होची communicating, I think communicating to all or something like that. That is the tagline of Airtel ना?
हाँ.
So that is the shared value. सेमती कि बहुत गुडे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन थांती जो माने कि तांको shared values तको आपण सब मन रखथिबे. Shared values तको तांकर
any organization have its own principles is called value?
Not principles are not values. देखो तो principles तो change होची. Values कहले कोन जोटा कि हमें गोटे static रहउची. Value system is always static. For which particular social purpose your organization is standing on. Fine.
Okay, ma'am.
आपनको कोन social message दोची आपनको organization, why your organization is standing on. Fine. seta that is not always being economical, it is not always being only profit, it is what social obligations is being provided by you towards the society by your organization. Jemti ki dekhantu, I think your Airtel is saying that connecting people. So
Yes,
connecting
ma'am.
people
Connecting
means
people and
wherever you are,
a better
wherever,
life for our customer.
yes. So better services you are providing to the customer, that is tato adhika ara meaning hela kona connecting people. Ajika date re we all are free birds, ame bahut duro duro jaga ku jauchu for our meetings and all, where our family is somewhere else, we are staying in somewhere else. So we always being touch with our family, we are always being connected with our people who are loved ones. So that is why it is called connections, about the connection and all. TTC semti koche education for all, despite of age, despite of your gender, it is education is being provided to all. So what I am saying, बहुत गुड़ा organization देखिए तांकर जो slogan टा देथांती, जोटा तांकर tagline थाए और फिर slogan थाए, सही तरह तांकर value टा somewhere it is being hide. I will give one more example like LIC, जीते रहो, जिंदगी के साथ भी जिंदगी के बाद भी. So this is what the value of LIC. So LIC says that if you take a life insurance, it is not only save you during your period of life, but when you are not there with your family, this LIC will give you give your family a financial help, a financial helping hand, a financial support. Zindagi ke saath bhi, zindagi ke baad bhi. So that is what called the value system. Now, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ କହୁଛୁ structural implementation, ଦେଖିବେ ତା ଦେହରେ ସବୁ shared value ଟା ଅଛି ଆମ organization ର, ବାକି ଯୋଉ 6ଟା S ରହିଲେ ସେ organization ର shared values को contribute କରୁଥିବେ, right? So that is what called the 7S format. So I don't think others पूरा बुझे दरकार, फिर भी मैं कहि दउची. What is strategy in 7S? Strategy is something which is called a framework. It is a blueprint of what you really looking for with an identifiable goal. Whatever short-term goals you have identified, for that you have to prepare a blueprint. You have to prepare a framework. That is what called strategy in 7S. What is structure? Sorry. Sorry. मझे मु आपनकर 4-5टा class, actually I was late because of I was severely ill that time. So that's why I planned this class for all of you.
Yes, ma'am. Climate empty ही हो चुका है.
Actually I don't know, maybe it is because of my classes are, your examination is very near and it is not only your classes, even some regular classes are going on, and because of this climatical changes na, so I have
Yes,
this
ma'am.
throat infection since from last 20 days, and sometimes it is having a severe cough, like ekdam se non-stop cough. So I am having my all medicines everything is
Ma'am, you
over
do
now.
gargle every day, ma'am.
Arey baba,
Yes, ma'am. The right thing.
everything
Yes,
I have did everything.
ma'am. Doctor.
I did. Doctor even doctor भी सरलानी माने कौन होची ना, it is my mistake. Sometimes it is very बाहर टा बहुत अधिका climatically टिके कौन रोची heat रोची. That time I might be having little bit cold water and all. So
Yes,
please take
cold
care of
water
it.
ନେଲେ କେବେ ବି ଭଲ ହବନି throat
କେବେ
infection.
ଭଲ ହବନି ମୁଁ ଜାଣିଛି ତ.
Please
I
take
try
care.
to now. I try to have some warm water. देखिवा.
मैम काढ़ा पियंतु.
Right.
What?
काढ़ा पियंतु, काढ़ा पीले शीघ्र ठीक हो जिवो.
चाहा तो मु सेमती दिन को थरे पिए, बट हां
Ma'am,
काढ़ा
आयुर्वेदिक काढ़ा.
हां काढ़ा.
मैम आपण ठंडा पानी पीवा छाड़ी दियंतो, गार्गल करंतो,
नहीं
बहुत
ठंडा
जल्दी
पानी
ଭଲ
नहीं,
ହେଇଯିବ.
ठंडा पानी मु सेमती भी पिए नी. मझिरे किंतु ए कास टाइम रे थरटे पीजी. दैट इज व्हाई एटा भलो होनी. दैट इज व्हाट माय फीलिंग्स मे बी. भलो बारो.
मैम ठंडा को ठंडा काटिवा आइसक्रीम खाली.
अच्छा वेरी गुड. आसो बीडीसी आसो मिसी.
मैम गुड इवनिंग. मैम आपको वाटर बोतल में तुलसी पत्ता डाल के पियंतु.
मु गोटे कथा कहबी आपण मानकु, when there is a covid ना, we आमे समस्त बहुत अधिका गार्गलिंग वगैरह करूथिलु. I then second or third phase जेतले आसिला, जो माने कोविड रे इन्फेक्टेड हेले, जो माने गार्गलिंग बहुत करथिले, तांको बेसी कोविड हैला मींस तांकर इन्फेक्शन ता बहुत अधिक हैला एंड बहुत रैपिडली हैला ता रीजन कोन जानचंदी कोरोना से माने एते गार्गलिंग वगैरह करथिले जे तांकर से जो पैसेज ता बहुत ओपन थिला जा जोरा इन्फेक्शन बहुत जल्दी हैला व्हिच इज डॉक्टर्स व्यू इट इज नॉट माय व्यू सो इन दैट टाइम पीरियड आफ्टर दैट आल्सो डॉक्टर भी कहूची कि आपण सेतिकी ही काढ़ा पीबे सेतिकी ही इनहेल करिवे जेतिका आपण बॉडी सही परुची एक्सेस करिवेनी तो मोर एक्चुअली 20 डेज हे गलानी तो ऑलरेडी एगुडा सब सरलान डॉक्टर में कहूची एंटीबायोटिक्स चालू मे बी भलो हे जिवो ओके फाइन
हम गुआ घेटा डी ट्राई करंतु
कोनटा
कुसुम गुआ घेओ ट्राई करिवे भलो
भाई मु बिल्कुल घियो पियो खाए नहीं आई एम वेरी फार फ्रॉम
ना ना ये
ना
गरम
मैम इनहेल करंतु सेटा भी बहुत बेस्ट
हां इनहेल टा चलीच ओके
इनहेल टा भी बहुत बेस्ट
इनहेल टा करूची मु ओके हमें पढ़िबा सारीबा एटा को अछि so structure is something which is called successful implementation of this strategy which is structure is mu jemti apan manu कहली organizational structure is various type if I came to that structure this is a structure of typical organizational chart where there is a higher authority who is a CEO, departmental heads, functional managers and all. This is one typical structure. One more structure is here, corporate center structure where divisional department is under and the detailed budget, capital allocation, there is an above. This is one particular structure. One more structure is there. This is called organizational chart. That is also a typical structure. Okay, more hierarchy ta apan ko dekhebi. Give me 1 minute. Let me show you. Okay. Okay, this is certain hierarchical structure where you are having one CEO, then you have managers like sales department and other department. Then tapare dekhantu gote pyramid style rahichi. So pyramid is something which is called terms of different segments of people in a particular organization. This is called vertical hierarchical chart. This is called vertical hierarchical chart. Fine. So when we are talking about different structures, so structure is always very essential in point of view of 7S format because अपन को structure ऊपर भी रहूच कि अपन को organization को अपन केमते handle करचोंती. Fine. तापर असला system is always talked about the procedures, rules, regulations, routines, what you are following. Like you are having a biometric system from 10 to 6 or like 9 to 6. And with that biometrics, there is several rules. Like upon half an hour late, what is your grace period? What is the monthly grace time period? So what a particular khali biometrics ko nahi janto seti kitte prakar apan ko rules regulation attach hai ki rohuchi. And that is being different from organization to organization. Even in government organization re be it differ karuchi. Whatever we follow as a government organization, maybe that is not followed in secretariat. That is also a state government organization, under the state government. But semane kichhi alga follow karuchandi. Seiti apana nei chantu apanଙ୍କର secretariat chadiki apana chal jantu audit office. Seti gote alga rule follow karuchandi. But everyone is having biometric system. But rules are different from each other. So it is only one example. If you see system is very vast to understood, and समस्त organization na nijar system rochi, whether it is hiring system, that means human hiring system, whether it is promotion system, whether it is performance appraisal system, whether it is information system, समस्त nijar different type of system rochi which the employees has to follow. And when it is came to structural change, yes, some system de bhi change dekhuchu. Then came to style. Style is all about cultural style of the organization, how the managers behave with the cordial, coordinating with the staffs or with the staffs, or maybe how the staffs are behaving with the managers or higher authority. That is called culture of organization. बहुत organization ने देखिए जेमती कि sir, madam डाकिबा, it is strictly prohibited. And some of the organization, if you are not, representing with the sir and madam, then they will shoo you. So that is organizational style, organizational culture. and it is also differ from organization to organization. Then staff, so how the staff is being selected, how they're being placed, how they're being trained, how the training and development is made. It is all about being polished the staffs, being polish their skills for the betterment of the organization. And lastly, I skill coach. This is very distinctive or very distinctive capacities. Like what capacity of mine, it is not similar to you. ଯେମିତି କି ଆପଣ ଅବିକା around 58 ଜଣ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ମତେ ଛାଡିଦେଲେ 57 ଜଣ ଅଛନ୍ତି, and each of you have a very unique character. ଆମେ ଯଦି 58 ଜଣ ଏଇ ମିଟିଂ ରେ ଅଛୁ, ଆମେ 58 ଜଣଙ୍କର ଦେଖିବେ ବହୁତ ୟୁନିକ୍ କ୍ୟାରେକ୍ଟର ଅଛି, ୟୁନିକ୍ ସ୍କିଲ୍ସ ଅଛି, ୟୁନିକ୍ କ୍ୟାପାବିଲିଟିଜ ଅଛି, distinctive capabilities ଅଛି, and ଆମେ own way ରେ ତାକୁ implement କରୁଛୁ. ଯେମିତି କି I am a teacher, ମୁଁ ମୋର capacity capabilities understanding in a teaching way ରେ implement କରୁଛି. ଆପଣ ଧର ଗୋଟେ software engineer, ଆପଣ ସେଠି ଆପଣଙ୍କର 100% ଦଉଛନ୍ତି. So that is what your skill. When you implement your 100% into work, when you implement your 100% into action, ସେଟା ହେଲା ଆପଣଙ୍କର skill, which is completely different. Maybe they're twins, but the skills are very different from each other. So ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣ strategical implementation କଥା କହୁଛନ୍ତି, if you find out the skills are lacking, so you could able to enhance it. ଏଇଟା ହେଲା McKinsey's this is what called 7S format. Right? I will stop this and I will go to tell you that what is strategic implementation. For that I'll have to share one more PPT. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. Now, as like ଆମେ ଯେମିତି ଆପଣଙ୍କର process of strategic management process ପଢିଥିଲୁ, ସେମିତି implementation ର ବି ଗୋଟେ particular process ରହୁଛି. Right? So we need to study what is the implementation process. Let me share from this. Give me 1 minute. Just 1 minute break नियंतु मैं इटा आपनकर ऐड कर दोछु, so that easily बुझी परिबे, बाकी मैं पुराना नोट्स टा भी आपन को देई परिबे. Give me 1 minute. No, I'm not preparing the slide. I try to upload it for your Zoom. Give me 1 minute. It is almost done. Because आपणମାନଙ୍କୁ न देखैले केमती हबो, and you are also requesting for the previous slide. So it was not prepared. I'm not preparing. I'm just sharing it because it was not there in my laptop now. So I'll have to transfer it. That's why I required take a time darkar thila. That's why I have taken little time. Just
Yes.
1 minute. I'll go to that particular strategy implementation. Okay. So came to this portion when we're talking about what is the different approaches that is being used for the strategic implementation. So there are certain different approaches, but what is strategic implementation? I think we have already had a discussion on this particular point, like what is definition. But let me tell you one or two more definitions. That is definition of the strategic implementation consists of a series of decisions and actions that are meant to carry out and formulated the strategy. So this is one more, definition you can say. So what are the strategic implementation approaches? So there are 5 different approaches through which one can implement the strategy. That is called commander approach. Then we have change approach in an organization, cultural approach, collaborative approach, and creative approach, and aku apan alga very coercive approach bhi kahuchandi. Now what is commander approach? Now what is the exact term commander? Commander mane kon bhabuchandi apan? Someone is there who commands, who give you a command, that is commander.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that is true. When we're talking about commander approach, that means someone is there who is a superior in the organization who give you a command. Now who is that superior and why he is giving command? So in this particular approach, the manager tries to determine the best strategy by himself or with the help of an expert. So in these several conditions, there must be fulfilled the implementation of new strategy under this particular approach. So here the commander is the manager who try to implement the strategy either by himself or with the help of the others, or you can say that the help of a expert person who already made this or who is experienced in this. So here the manager is the authority, or you can say that efficient authority who can make a direction of the application of strategy. And in some particular time, the environment through which the company will operate, that is, for that operation, accurate strategy has to be maintained by the manager. If the situation is not very friendly or market friendly, then also the manager has to draw the strategy and has to implement it. That's why he is called as a commander, and this approach is called commander approach, where all the work under in the hand of the manager. Adre jitte kamo thai adre manager is superior person who is handling how to implement it, where to implement it, and what are the exact time for the implementation, whether the market is accepting this implementation or not. If not, then we have to wait. So every particular kind of decision has been taken by the commander. That's why it is called as a commander approach. Second one is called change approach in the organization. Now, you must be heard, this is a very popular phrase. There's one thing is constant, that is change. Now, what do you understood by that? Change is something which is create more energy for the organization, more innovation for the organization. Your strategic goals are being always, face challenges because of this change. आपण जेते change approach को identify करिवे, कारण आपण जाननांती what is there in the tomorrow. That means my organization is going to face what in tomorrow. Like there are some issues of regulation, or maybe there are some government issues, or maybe there are some challenges of the competitors. Kali mu kon face karibi, kon ta hurdle face karibi, that I don't know. But mu already I have planned a strategy, and that strategy I need to implement. So if there is certain things which is very inappropriate came, then what is being my responsibility towards the implementation of strategy? That's why always adopt the change, try to identify the change, try to accumulate with the change, and the implementation process of the second approach कहला कि change approach को जानतो. So this approach mainly focuses on the preparing of organization to carry out this strategy and adopted strategy in the various different situations. The instruments which are used under this strategy includes updated planning, control system redesigning, organizational structural designing, staffing, matching, etc. So that's why change approach is always the one of the major way to make implementation. Cultural approach called. Now, change to contribute the creation of execution of the strategy, that is what called cultural approach. Cultural approach रे the organization सबले offers कुची जो माने तारो members अच्छी या तो फिर तारो employees अच्छी stakeholders अच्छी तांको सबु बड़े approach कुची to make contributed to change. आपण change को adopt करंतु so that your culture is being changed. It is not exactly culture being changed. Adaptable मु कहिबी change बदलरे adaptable माने कोन आपण कोनोसी भी जगह को जानतो you got adoption, that means आपण easily से जगह रे निज को accommodate करि देबे, that is called adoption. Right? The cultural approach fosters the organizational cohesion in the development and application of the strategy, and the strategy however can be effective if the workers are competent and able to complete their duties efficiently. That is called cultural approach. Collaborative approach. It is one of the most essential approach where the manager used to, take opinion from the others while he is implementing the strategy. That others may be management team, may be expertised, may be the subordinates. So, se kam karena collaboration sohita implementation coach strategy ko, so that it is something called as a activity, or you can say that it is a brainstorming tactics. Through that, the manager is always being coordinated with his upper and lower level people. So it attributes to organizational collaboration. It attributes to create a new and good environment to work under. And plus, अपन जते strategy or जेमते strategy हो जति आपनकर fellow upper and below लोकଙ୍କ सहित भल संपर्क रहउची, the cordial environment you could able to create, then you could able to implement the strategy easily. Then coercive approach. Coercive approach where the manager is not only responsible for creating strategy, but he also argues his subordinates to create and carry out their own strategies. The manager evaluates each individual's idea for the plan, and the strategy developed through this approach is the cumulative success or it is a success not of an individual person, it is a cumulative success of everyone. So every employee must have access to enough resources from the management so that they can create and put into action successful initiation or initiatives. So that means not cohesion approach means collaboration approach where the manager is not only taking these strategies, implementation ideas and responsibility, but also the subordinate staffs also create some strategies or implement that into action with the help of the manager. So that is called coercive approach. Now this is what called strategic implementation process. So this strategic implementation process have distinct stages. So building an organization which are able to execute this strategy, kon executions re rochi. First stage hela the establishment of a strategy with the support of a good budget or appropriate budget apan koi paranti. Second one, when we're talking about installment of internal administration or administrative support system, it is very essential. Then rewards and incentives which can motivate people to work in a fine way, giving shape to the corporate cultures for fitting in the strategy. So corporate cultures are nowadays are very popular terms where people are try to be friendly with each other to adopt this corporate culture. ଯେମିତି କି ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ example ଦେଲି, some of the corporate industry is denied to response with the sir and madam word. So that is a kind of a corporate culture which is being adopted, and sometimes you have to be fitted yourself with this particular corporate culture, and everyone who are a part of this organization has to be fitted. So that was the fourth point. And fifth point, exercising strategy leadership. So eta amaro up ru toluku jauchi. That means first step la kono, establishment of strategy with the support of a budget. Now, what do you understood by support of a budget? For an example, you prepare a strategy and you want to implement into a practical implementation you want, but unfortunately, when you're making a practical implementation, it is highly costly. Now what? Now what your organization, if you are implemented your organizational strategy into action, but it was not supported to your budget, then definitely you go back. You have to change your strategy, create some strategy which is budget friendly of your organization, then try to implement it. Or if you implement this strategy, then it will definitely create a loss for your organization. So why to go along with a loss making implementation? I mean, maybe loss making implementation ko kahin ki jiba. So before making the implementation, one has to think about a supportive budget for the implementation, like the amenities, like the whatever strategies that the firm has to be developed with the employees' equipment. So what about the all amenities or assets, whatever you needed, that is being under this plan, but that has to be adopted by a supportive budget. Installment of internal administrative support system. Now, what do you understood by internal support system? So internal support system re bahut jinsa aschi, jemti ki asuchi policies, processes. If the internal support system, jemti ki dekhantu gote simple jinsa dekhon bahut lokonkar case study re apna paibe, they left their job because of the internal politics. Some people left their job because of this hard boundaries of time period. Some people left their job because of the policies which is being created by the organization. This is not very friendly to the employees. So internal system re first asuchi apankara policies, rules, regulation which is being created by the organization for the betterment of the employees. If that is not very friendly to the employees, then definitely it was a non-supportive system. Supportive system koile kona na, policies, rule, regulation, whatever is there, you have to be install it with a friendly or creating with a friendly environment. Then what is desirable behavior that you expect from others, that has to be implemented. Information system has to be a good and innovative, so that the internal administrative system would be supportive for the all employees and other staffs or stakeholders, whatever you can say. Rewards and incentives, these are two major things what can motivate people to work. Fine, I mean, about time dekho, nana paisa is not a motivation yaar, but actually motivation is money. If someone will not pay you the salary and you are staying in a particular company since long 20 years helani, apan gote company chakiri korchandi and aji apan company apan pay karuni, he will not paying you the salary. So how many times you could able to retain with the company? Maybe a month, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, but after that you have to left the organization and join somewhere else, because your financial benefit is not being awarded to you after finish of 1 month of work. But when you are not getting your rewards, jodi apanko salary miluchi, but you are not getting your rewards and incentives, that is also a major demotivation, and it is major kind of a drawback of the organization in terms of looking for a good output. So it is very essential that in the implementation process, reward and incentives placed in a very specific place, so that people should be get motivated to work towards completing the work with a very good strategy within the time period, within the span of minimum requirement or minimum use of resources. So it is essential, that is reward and incentives. How kon rahila? Giving shape to the corporate cultures for fitting it in this strategy. So as I have told you that what is a corporate culture which support the strategy in a major reason like diligence, so intelligence, so in that way you could able to create your corporate culture in a very better way, innovative way, and everyone has to fit it in that innovation. And the last step rahila exercising the strategic leadership. Now, what do you understood by leadership? If you go back to OB, leadership means what? Leader is someone who leads a group, who can motivate the people, who can change the thought process of the people. So he is a leader. Now, exercising the strategic leadership is also says that a manager has to put a step forward, and manager has to play a character of leader or strategic leader where he could construct utilized or constructive policies which can be utilized, which can be used to motivate people and work in a constant way or with an enthusiasm to complete the work with a time period, with a very profitable way. So that is called exercising leadership or strategic leadership. These are the strategic implementation process. Fine. Okay, with this ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଏଟା 4th unit complete ହେଲା. 5th unit day after tomorrow I think I have one more class, so that we will take on to 5th unit, that is strategic control, and try to complete it. If you have any question please ask, otherwise we will close down the class.
Ma'am,
good evening.
Question.
Yes, question answer discussion ଆମେ last class କରିବା.
Yes, ma'am.
ଆଉ କଣ କହୁଥିଲି କୁହନ୍ତୁ.
मैम एग्जाम ପାଇଁ टाइम एते कम देले मैडम एथर
एग्जाम
हाँ
ପାଇଁ
मैम बहुत कम टाइम
नहीं एक्चुअली एग्जाम ପାଇଁ टाइम कम नहीं, आमे एथर क्लासेस बहुत लेट रे स्टार्ट कलु.
हाँ
एग्जाम तो जुलाई रे होची. यूजुअली हमर एग्जामिनेशन हुए इन द मंथ ऑफ जून. हमर जून रे एग्जाम हुए, आपण मानकर जुलाई रे होची. तो सेति ପାଇଁ कि टाइम कम नहीं, टाइम तो एक्सिड करि गलानी ऑलरेडी, बट आपणकर प्रॉब्लम है ना आमे एथर का क्लासेस टिके लेट रे आरंभ करछु. देखो आपण मानकर ही पिला माने जो माने रिक्वेस्ट करथिले कि क्लास टा हमर करा जाऊ नियर टू द एग्जामिनेशन, सो दैट हमें बेटर
जो माने मैम रिक्वेस्ट करथिले से माने बोथे किसी करू नथिबे, खाली पढुथिबे से माने सेति पय तांको
सेटा जेंदी आपण माने एथर को जदी कहबे हमें क्लास नेक्स्ट 3rd सेमेस्टर क्लास टा हमें आगे करि देबो.
हाँ मैम, कहीं हमें जे तो वर्किंग अच्छु तो हमको टिके टाइम दरकार, एटलीस्ट असाइनमेंट ता भितरे पुनी
बहुत
प्रिपरेशन
प्रॉब्लम
बहुत शॉर्ट टाइम भितरे हमको बहुत सारा जिंस कवर अप करे पड़छि, तो हमको बहुत प्रॉब्लम ही देछि.
हम क्लास में रहउची 10 दिन 11 दिन टी 20 दिन 5 दिन करियोनी
कोनटा पहले सुनी परलिनी.
क्लास हमर जो रहउची 10 11 दिन रहउची 20 22 दिन करियोनी.
नहीं 20 दिन क्लास होची तो आपनकर
ना हमरो टोटल क्लास टोटल 10 टा लेखा रहउची ना. हां
क्लासेस 10 टा लेखा होची,
आज्ञा
बट होची तो 20 दिन
कारण गोटे यूनिट गोटे दिन रे सरी जाउची ना, सिले की
मैडम एक्चुअली प्रीवियस तरह फर्स्ट एग्जामिनेशन तो बहुत भलो भाबरे पढ़ा भी हेतला और टाइम भी मिलतला और पढ़ा भी पढ़ी के
हाँ
एग्जाम
मैम आ गोटे एठी मोर गोटे थिला ये कि आपनकर जो इवनिंग रे 6 टा रु 7 टा 7 रु 8 टा करछथि, तो 6 टा रु 7 टा टिके हम पे प्रॉब्लम हिते होछि बिकॉज़ हमें ऑफिस रे तते बेला आसी न थाउछु. तो आप लास्ट फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर आपनकर 7 to 8 और 8 to 9 जो थिला सेटा हम आराम से करि परतिलु.
अच्छा नेक्स्ट टाइम से करबा. नेक्स्ट टाइम पुनी
7 to 8 मैम
कम कहली
मैम 3rd और 4th सेमेस्टर रे क्लासेस नंबर ऑफ क्लासेस के बढ़ाइबे. 10 number of classes is very small for such a vast syllabus.
Yes ma'am. Yes,
that I understood, but amara distance jemti mu कहली policies are there, so amara policy hela 10 classes, but we'll try to enhance that at least
per subject 15 classes is sufficient. 10 classes is very small. Exactly ma'am. and
actually ma'am exam ro 1 month before jodi amara complete he jauchi classes so that ami jinsada buji thibu to assignment writing ରେ हमको କିଛି problem हबनी
କହିଲେ ସେଟା ତ କହିଲେ ମୁଁ next semester को एटा sir को भी कहिबी that
फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर जेमती प्लान हेतला सेमती ही प्लान करिवे नेक्स्ट कमिंग सेमेस्टर को मैम
अच्छा फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर
at least मैम 15 days नले 1 month गैप देबे माने क्लास परे एग्जाम रो कंपना
काहे कि हमें मैम जो अपना क्लासेस नेला परे हमें बेटर क्लैरिटी असला सो दैट हमें असाइनमेंट ता टिके बेटर वे रे राइटिंग करि पारु छु
अच्छा अच्छा ओके
assignment मैम just copying down doesn't make any sense actually मैम टिके टाइम मिलले बेटर है
why to copy if you have little bit your input your own view
नहीं मैम टाइम इतने कम टाइम कांस्टेंट इज देयर एक्चुअली
नहीं that I understood अपन को टाइम
मैम हमरो थर्ड सेमेस्टर ऑलमोस्ट केबे हबो किछि प्लानिंग अछि की
थर्ड सेमेस्टर अपन एग्जाम कथा पचोचली
हां थर्ड सेमेस्टर एग्जाम
यस मैम
थर्ड सेमेस्टर एग्जाम इट इज आइदर इन जनवरी फेब्रुअरी हबो मार्च को जीवनी फेब्रुअरी हिजबो अपन
ओके मैम से आईडिया टा मैम टे रहितले हमें ही
हमर फोर्थ सेमेस्टर भी से जून जुलाई मैम
फोर्थ सेमेस्टर सेम जून जुलाई
मैम मॉर्निंग क्लास जो पीडीएफ सेंड करलेनी अमेज़न रो
देखिले
सेंड करे बेला
कि नहीं देखिले अपन ग्रुप रे अछन की
आगे आगे अपन गोटे सेंड करले मॉड्यूल 4 टा
मॉड्यूल 4 करली तापरे यूनिट 3 जोटा सखाळे देखैतिनी सेटा भी कर देछि देखि दियो
आगे 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 पाइली आगे
so everything in required little bit time
मैम एथरा पढ़ाटा में हमको लागला बहुत स्पीड चलला बहुत ही माने कैप्चर करे भी प्रॉब्लम हैला मैम बहुत असुविधा हैला मैडम
अच्छा बहुत स्पीड हैला अपन रकम करे हमर फॉर्मेट ही से या हम फॉर्मेट हैला
बट फैकल्टीज आर वेरी गुड मैम फैकल्टीज आर वेरी गुड
रियल मैम फैकल्टी बहुत बढ़िया थिले
फैकल्टीज बहुत बढ़िया थिले
स्पीड हैला पढ़ाटा
सतरे मते कहीं लागुनी तो फैकल्टी वाला थिले
नहीं बोलो थिले
नहीं मैम बहुत बढ़िया
सुजीत सर काहे किछ नेलेनी क्लास
सुजीत सर टिके व्यस्त रहिले वर्ष एथरको सतिवेंगी सर क्लास नहीं करनांती अदरवाइज सर निश्चित नहीं
हमें मैम गुड इवनिंग सुब्रत से हम सुजीत सर को मैसेज कर दे हम तक मिस कर बहुत क्लास
अच्छा तो मेरे साथ के व्यस्त रहिले एथरको सरंगर टिके
एनीवेज मैम बहुत अच्छा है सपोर्ट आप लोग का मैम आपका तबीयत ठीक नहीं आप जस्ट टेक केयर योरसेल्फ
ओके थैंक यू काली रो क्लास रे टिके चेंजेस मे भी एक बारी डिटेल सर काली सकाळे क्लास नहीं परिबेनी बोली मते फोन करथिले तो मोर आखिरे देखि कोन अरेंजमेंट हे परिबो
सीएम क्लास मैम यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट सीएम क्लास
नो आरएम डिटेल
ओके
रिटेल क्लास टा जदि काली सकाळे न होला देन तमरो इवनिंग रे 8 to 9 होबो so that we will put into the group today tonight itself right
okay ma'am
I'm taking your leave thank you so much and
thank you ma'am
okay
thank you ma'am
good night
good night ma'am
thank you ma'am